Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. No matter what time you're watching, welcome. Let me know in the comments. What city are you watching this story from? And hey, if this story popped up for you, it's because it deserves to be heard. So, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more like this. The rain had stopped 3 months ago, but I can still smell it on the cracked earth. I always wake up before sunrise. It's a habit I've had since Mary passed 2 years ago. The silence of the house bothers me more than the hard work. I get up, put the kettle on, and look out the kitchen window. The farm stretches as far as the eye can see, here in rural Oklahoma, near Tulsa. Good land, strong cattle, but empty of laughter. The coffee is ready when the first rays of sunlight cut through the sky. I drink it slowly, sitting on the porch. The cicadas begin their song. In the distance, the cows moo for attention. Just another day like the others. Morning, girls, I say to myself as I always do. My name is John Baptist, 62 years old, gray hair, hands rough from so much work. I was born on this land, married Mary right here in the little church of St. Rita. She died of cancer in a hospital in Oklahoma City, far from home, far from what she loved. She promised she'd come back in the next life to plant sunflowers with me. I'm still waiting. I walk to the pen. My boots make noise on the dry earth. Dust, my mutt, follows me, wagging his tail. He's the only one who still has energy around here. The cows approach when they see me. I've milked them for so many years that they know me by my smell, by the way I walk. Easy, Daisy. Your milk is guaranteed. The routine saves me from loneliness, milking, releasing the cattle to pasture, fixing fences, checking the water trough. Each task keeps me busy. But in the pauses when I stop to breathe, the emptiness returns. It's as if the farm is too big for one man alone. Mary always said I needed to talk to people more, that I couldn't live only with the animals. She was right, as always. But after she left, the words disappeared with her. What was I going to say? What was the point of talking if the one I most wanted to hear was no longer here? The sun heats up quickly. Noon is scorching. I go back to the house, prepare a simple plate. Rice, beans, a piece of jerky. I eat in silence, looking at the empty chair in front of me. Mary always sat there, always served my plate first, then hers. Always asked how the day was, even knowing it was the same as the last. After lunch, I rest a little. The heat is unforgiving. Around 3 in the afternoon, I go out again. I need to check the fences of the north pasture. There are rumors that some cattle from neighboring farms are getting through there. A broken fence causes problems. I saddle Thunder, my bay horse. He's as old as I am, but he can still handle the work. He knows every trail, every hole, every stone of this land. We've ridden together for 15 years. He misses Mary too. She always brought him carrots. Let's go, partner. Another day of work. The pasture is about 2 miles from the main house. The road is beautiful, even with the drought. Pecan trees, sumac, some dogwoods that resist the weather. The wind sways the treetops. It's the only sound besides the horse's steps. Mary liked to ride with me on these trips. She said it was when she felt most free, more alive. I kind of understand. Here in the country, far from everything, the problems seem smaller. Life gets simpler. Arriving at the pasture, I see that the fence is intact. False alarm. But the cattle seem restless. Some cows look in the direction of the dirt road, as if they had seen something strange. Thunder is also alert. Lifts his ears, snorts softly. What is it, boy? I follow his gaze. In the distance, where the road curves, there's something different. A dark spot on the ground. It could be a fallen branch. It could be trash thrown by someone. But it could be something else. I decide to go see. It doesn't hurt. And Mary always said curiosity never killed the cat. What kills the cat is carelessness. We ride slowly along the dusty road. The sun is strong, but a soft breeze eases the heat. As I approach, the spot takes shape. It's not a branch. It's not trash. It's a person. My heart races. I pull the reins. Thunder stops. The figure is lying by the side of the road under a small sumac tree. Doesn't move. I dismount quickly. My legs tremble a little. I don't know if it's from age or from the shock. I approach slowly. It's a young woman, very young, 20-something maybe, thin with simple and dirty clothes. Her black hair stuck to her face with sweat. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Nothing. She breathes, but she's unconscious. Her skin is hot, feverish. She must have been here for hours. In rural Oklahoma, being in the sun like this can kill you. I look around. No car, no house nearby. How did she get here? And why was she alone on such a deserted road? I take my water bottle and wet a cloth. I put it on her face slowly. She moves a little, moans softly. She's alive, but she needs urgent help. I don't think twice. I pick her up in my arms, she's light as a child, and put her on Thunder's back. I mount in front, hold her with one arm, and guide the horse with the other. The way back to the house never seemed so long. "Hold on, Mom. I'll take care of you." I don't know why I said that. The words came out on their own. Maybe because for the first time in 2 years, I have someone who needs me, someone who depends on my help. The wind shakes her hair. For a moment I remember Mary when she was young. The same fragility, the same simple beauty, the same way of making a man want to protect her. We arrive at the farm as the sun is already setting. I take her straight to the house, to the guest room that I haven't used in ages. I put her on the bed, cover her with a clean sheet. I get more water, a fever medicine that I still have from Mary's time. I sit in the chair next to the bed and watch. Who is she? Where did she come from? What was she doing alone on that road? The questions can wait. For now, the important thing is that she recovers, that she comes to, that I know she didn't die under the brutal sun of this harsh backcountry. Night falls. I light a lamp and leave it on the bedside table. I go out to make food and take care of the animals, but my head is there, in that room. After so long alone, having someone in the house moves me. I go back several times during the night to see how she is. In the early morning, the fever passes. She breathes better. At dawn, when I bring a glass of water, she opens her eyes. Brown eyes, scared, lost. "Easy," I say softly. "You're safe." Her eyes stare at me with fear. A deep fear that goes beyond the shock of waking up in a strange place. It's the fear of someone who has suffered a lot. I recognize that look. I saw it in the mirror after I lost Mary. "Easy," I repeat, keeping my distance. "My name is John Baptist. You passed out on the road. I brought you to my house." She tries to sit up, but her body is still weak. Her hands tremble when she takes the glass of water I offer. She drinks slowly, each sip seeming to hurt. Where am I?" Her voice comes out hoarse, broken. "On my farm, rural Oklahoma. Do you remember how you got to the road?" She shakes her head. Her eyes fill with tears, but she tries not to cry in front of me. Wounded pride. I know that well too. "What's your name?" "Clara," she whispers. "Clara Mendez." Clara is a pretty name. "Suits you." She looks at me surprised, as if she's not used to compliments. That bothers me. A young woman like her should hear pretty words every day. Are you going to hurt me?" The question cuts me inside. What kind of life has this girl had to ask such a thing? "Never. As long as you're here, you're safe. Man's word." Something in my tone must have convinced her, because her shoulders relax a little. Still suspicious, but less tense. "Are you hungry? I can make some broth. Something light for your stomach." Clara nods. I get up slowly, without sudden movements. I don't want to scare her anymore. In the kitchen, I put water on the fire and prepare a chicken broth that Mary always made when someone was sick. Carrots, potatoes, a little fine pasta. The smell brings back good memories. Mary humming while cooking, her laughter echoing through the house. When I return to the room, Clara is looking out the window. The pasture stretches out there, green despite the drought, dotted with cattle grazing peacefully. It's beautiful here, she says softly. My wife always said that here we felt closer to God. She's not here anymore? Passed 2 years ago? Cancer? Clara looks at me with a sadness that goes beyond courtesy, as if she understands the weight of the loss. I'm sorry. She would have liked you. Mary always had a good heart for those who needed help. I bring the broth on a tray. Clara eats slowly but with appetite. It had been a while since she ate properly, that's visible. The bones in her face are prominent, her hands too thin. Where did you come from, Clara? She stops eating. She's silent for a while, stirring the spoon in the plate. From Tulsa, or at least that's where I was going. Tulsa is more than 100 miles from here. How did she get to my road on foot? Were you traveling alone? I was running away. The word hangs in the air. Heavy, laden with pain. I don't pressure her. If she wants to tell, she'll tell. If she doesn't want to, that's okay too. Everyone has their demons to carry. You can stay here as long as you need, until you feel better. I don't have any money to pay. I have nothing. I didn't ask for money. I just asked you to rest. She looks at me as if I were a strange animal. People who help without expecting anything in return must be rare in her life. I spend the rest of the day taking care of the routine, but always coming back to see how she is. Clara sleeps a lot. Her body needs to recover. When she's awake, she's quiet, watching everything carefully. The way I treat the animals, how I prepare the food, the respectful way I talk to her. In the late afternoon, she manages to get up and comes to the porch. She sits in Mary's rocking chair and looks at the sunset. The colors in the sky change slowly. Orange, red, purple. The crickets begin their nightly symphony. It's different from the city, she says. Did you live in the city? In Oklahoma City. But it wasn't a good life. I don't ask anymore. Her words carry a bitterness that I prefer not to touch yet. Tomorrow, if you're feeling better, I can show you the farm. There are some beautiful places here. Why are you being so kind to me? The question catches me off guard. I think about the answer for a while. Because everyone deserves a chance, and because it's been a while since I've had someone to talk to. Don't you have family? Children? No. Mary couldn't have children. It was one of her sorrows. Mine too. Clara is quiet. Then she says, almost whispering, sometimes I think God forgets about us. Maybe. Or maybe he works in ways we don't understand. Are you religious? I am, but not the kind that goes to church every Sunday. My religion is more simple. I believe that God is in the little things, in the sunrise, in the warm milk of the cow, in the rain when it finally arrives. Clara smiles for the first time since she woke up, a shy but genuine smile. Did Mary think like that too? Mary had faith like I've never seen. Even in the hospital, even sick, she gave thanks for every day. She said that life was a gift, even when it hurt. It must have been very difficult to lose her. It was. But she taught me that love doesn't die when the person leaves. It stays here, I hit my chest, and becomes strength to continue. Night falls. I prepare a simple dinner. Rice, beans, fried egg, a tomato salad from the garden. Clara eats with more appetite than at lunch. Her body is recovering. Can I help with something? She asks. For now, just rest. When you're feeling better, if you want, you can help me with the garden. Mary always said that plants grow better with women's hands. After dinner, we stay on the porch. The sky is starry. Here in the countryside, far from the city lights, you can see the Milky Way. Clara is fascinated. I've never seen so many stars. Mary loved to watch the sky. She said that each star was someone's dream come true. Nice way to think. She was like that. She transformed sadness into beauty. Clara looks at me in the dark. I can't see her expression, but I feel she's thinking about something important. John, can I ask a question? Sure. Aren't you afraid of me? You don't know where I came from, what I did. Everyone has done things they regret, and everyone deserves a second chance. What if I'm a bad person? A bad person doesn't worry about being bad. You're here worrying, so you already have your answer. She is quiet for a long time. Then she speaks, her voice choked. It's been a long time since someone believed in me. Well, now you have someone who believes in you. We go to sleep soon after. I leave her bedroom door open in case she needs something. My door is also open. I want her to know that she doesn't have to be afraid. In the early morning, I wake up to a noise. Clara is in the kitchen drinking water. She's sweating, her hands are trembling. Nightmare? I ask softly, so as not to scare her. I always have them. Sometimes it's better not to sleep. Want to talk? I don't know if you'll understand. Try. Sometimes talking helps to reduce the weight. Clara sits at the kitchen table. I make chamomile tea, which Mary always made to calm the nerves. I lived with my stepfather, she begins, her voice low. My mother died when I was 12 years old. He wasn't a good person. I feel my stomach tighten. I already imagine where this story is going. You don't have to tell me everything now. I need to. I need someone to know. I take her hand across the table. It's cold. He beat me. He said I was useless, that I was good for nothing. And when I turned 18, he tried. Her voice breaks. She can't continue. She doesn't need to. I understand perfectly. You ran away. I tried several times, but he always found me. This time I swore I wouldn't go back. I'd rather die on the road than go back there. And you almost did. If you hadn't found me, but I found you. And you're here, safe, Clara cries. A silent cry of relief and pain mixed. I stay there, holding her hand, letting her vent. Sometimes the best help is just being present. Clara, listen to me carefully. That man was wrong. You're not useless. You're not a burden. You are a valuable person who deserves to be treated with respect. How can you know? Because I see the way you thank me for every simple gesture. I see how you worry about not causing trouble. Lista de adaptações feitas. Nesta parte, boa dia, boa tarde, boa noite, boa madrugada, good morning, good afternoon, good evening or good night. De qual cidade você está vendo essa história? Let me know in the comments. What city are you watching this story from? Se inscreve no canal para não perder mais nenhuma como essa. So, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more like this. Interior de Goiás, perto de Pirenópolis, rural Oklahoma, near Tulsa, terra boa, gado forte, mas vazia de risada. Good land, strong cattle, but empty of laughter. Igrejinha de Santa Rita, little church of Saint. Rita Goiânia, Oklahoma City, cachorro vira-lata, mutt mimosa, Daisy carne seca, jerky cavalo baio, bay horse trovão, thunder pé de pequi, aroeira, alguns ipês, pecan trees, sumac, some dogwoods, estrada vicinal, dirt road de aroeira, sumac tree moça, mam sertão bruto, harsh backcountry Formosa, Tulsa, Brasília, Oklahoma City, Ilia, Oklahoma City. Here's the adapted text and the adaptation list. Texto adaptado. I see the strength you had to run away, not to give up. That's not something a weak person does. She looks at me with eyes red from crying so much. Thank you, she whispers. You're welcome. And Clara, you can stay here as long as you need. This house has room for 2 people. For the first time, I see hope in her eyes, a small spark, but real. We go back to bed as the sky is already lightening. Clara sleeps better, without nightmares. And I, for the first time in 2 years, feel like maybe I have a purpose again. To take care of someone, to protect someone, to be useful. Mary always said that God puts people in our path for a reason. Maybe Clara is my reason to start living for real again. The next few days pass like a delicate dance. Clara is gaining strength, and I am rediscovering how good it is to have company. She wakes up early, like me, but doesn't leave the room until she hears my steps in the kitchen. She's still afraid, still hides when she hears a strange noise. "Morning," she says softly, appearing in the kitchen doorway. "Morning, Clara, coffee's ready." She smiles, a smile that's getting less shy every morning. She sits at the table and accepts the cup I offer. I already know how she likes it. Little sugar, real hot. "Can I come with you to see the animals today?" "Sure, but if you get tired, come back to the house. You're still recovering." "I'm better, much better." It's true. Her cheeks have gained color, her eyes have lost that shadow of constant fear. Clara is blossoming like the plants in the garden after a good rain. We walk together to the pen. Dust runs ahead, happy with the new routine. The animals greet her with curiosity. Daisy, the gentlest cow, approaches and lets Clara pet her. "She's beautiful," Clara says, running her hand over the cow's snout. "Daisy is special. Was the first cow I bought with Mary. She's 15 years old now, but still gives good milk." "Did you create names for all the animals?" "Mary did. She said that an animal without a name was an animal without a soul." Clara is quiet, thoughtful. Then she speaks. "My mother also gave names to the animals. We had a hen named Princess. She would lay eggs in my lap." It's the first time Clara talks about her mother without sadness in her voice. A good memory, finally. "Was your mother affectionate?" "Very. She taught me to cook, to sew, to take care of the plants. She said that a woman who knows how to take care of small things knows how to take care of life. Wise woman. She was, if she hadn't died. But she taught you things that no one can take away from you. That's an inheritance worth more than money." Clara looks at me with an expression I can't decipher. She seems surprised, as if she's never thought about it. We spend the morning in the pen. She helps me feed the pigs, collect the hen's eggs. She has a way with the animals, soft hands, careful movements. A hen even lets her hold it. "Can I take care of the garden?" she asks at lunchtime. "You don't have to feel obligated." "It's not an obligation, it's a desire. It's been a while since I've wanted to take care of anything. Mary's garden has been abandoned for 2 years. Only a few tomato and pepper plants remain that sprout on their own. The garden bed is overgrown with weeds. It's going to be a lot of work," I warn. "I like work. Makes me feel useful." We spend the afternoon cleaning the garden. Clara works with an energy she hasn't shown before. She pulls weeds, turns the soil, separates the seeds that are still good. Her hands get dirty, but she smiles, a real smile. "You could plant lettuce here," she says, pointing to a bed, "and chives there. Cherry tomatoes would look pretty in this corner." You know about planting. My mother had a small garden in the backyard. I helped. It was one of the few things my stepfather didn't destroy. The mention of her stepfather still brings a shadow to her face, but it passes quickly. Clara is learning not to let the past steal the present. In the late afternoon, we sit on the porch to rest. Clara's hands are dirty with soil, her hair loose, her cheeks rosy from so much sun. She seems like a different person from the unconscious girl I found on the road. "John, can I ask you something?" "You always can." "Why didn't you ever marry again?" "After Mary died." The question catches me off guard. I'm silent for a while, searching for the right words. Never thought about it. Mary was unique. How to find another love like that? But it doesn't have to be the same. It can be different and be good too. You're young. You don't understand what it's like to love someone for 30 years. I don't really understand, but I understand loneliness, and I see how happy you are when you have someone to talk to. Clara is right. These last few days have been the best I've had since Mary left. Having someone to take care of, someone who cares if I got home safe, if I ate right, if I'm not too sad. "What about you?" I ask. "Never been in love? How was I going to fall in love? My stepfather wouldn't let me go out, wouldn't let me talk to anyone. He said that men only wanted one thing from me, and that I wasn't even good enough to give that." Anger rises in my chest. What kind of man destroys a girl's self-esteem like that? He was lying, Clara. A real man wants company, conversation, affection, wants someone to share life with. How did you know you loved Mary? I knew because she made me want to be a better person, and because when I was with her, I felt complete. Clara is quiet, thinking. The sun sets slowly, painting the sky orange and pink. The crickets begin their nightly song. Do you miss that? She asks, missing being complete? Every day. I never felt complete, not even when my mother was alive. I always had the feeling that something was missing. And now, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm taking care of the garden or talking to you, the feeling gets better. There's something in the way she speaks, in the way she looks at me, that moves me. But Clara is too young, too traumatized, and I'm too old, too marked by loss. Clara, you're going to find your completeness, and when you do, it's going to be beautiful to see. She smiles, but there's sadness in the smile. What if completeness is closer than I imagine? I don't answer. I don't know what to answer. There's tension in the air, an unspoken conversation between us. We eat dinner in silence. Clara prepared the salad with greens from the garden we cleaned. Sweet tomatoes, crispy lettuce. She has talent for cooking. It's tasty, I say. My mother always said that food made with love is tastier. Your mother was right. After dinner, Clara insists on washing the dishes. I watch her work, precise, careful movements. Each dish is washed with attention, as if it were important. Clara? Yes? Thank you. For what? For being here. For making this house come back to life. She stops washing the dishes and looks at me. There are tears in her eyes, but they're good tears. Thank you for finding me, she whispers. There's a loaded moment of silence between us. I want to hug her. I want to say that I'll never let anyone hurt her again. But I'm afraid. Afraid of confusing gratitude with love. Afraid of taking advantage of her fragility. I'm going to see if the gates are closed, I say, leaving to escape the moment. Outside, the night air calms me down. The stars shine in the clear sky. Mary always said that when I was confused, I should look at the sky and ask for guidance. Mary, if you're there, help me. I don't know what to do with what I'm feeling. The wind shakes the trees. They seem to whisper an answer that I can't understand. When I return, Clara has already gone to sleep, but she left a note on the kitchen table. John, thank you for teaching me that there are still good men in the world. Clara. I keep the note in my shirt pocket, close to my heart. That night, I dream of Mary. She's in the garden planting sunflowers. When she sees me, she smiles. She's special, Mary says in the dream. Who? You know who. Take good care of her, John, and let her take care of you too. But what about you? I'll always be here. She taps my chest. But you need to start living again. I couldn't bear to know that you stayed alone forever because of me. I wake up with tears on my face. For the first time since Mary died, I feel like maybe she sent Clara to me. Not to replace her, but to teach me that the heart can love again in a different way, but equally true. The next morning, Clara is in the kitchen making coffee. She's wearing Mary's apron, but it doesn't look strange. It looks natural. Morning, she says, and there's something different in her voice. More confident, more self-possessed. Morning, Clara. I dreamed about my mother last night. She was happy. She said I finally found a place where I can put down roots. And you believe in your dreams. I believe in good dreams. I leave the bad ones behind. Clara serves the coffee and sits with me at the table. Our eyes meet, and there's a silent understanding. Something has changed between us. Something has grown. John, can I stay? Really? Not just until I recover, but stay? My heart races in my chest. Are you sure? This life is simple. No luxuries, no big city fun. I don't want luxury. I want peace. I want to take care of the garden, the animals. I want to talk to you in the afternoon, look at the stars at night. I want to belong somewhere. Then stay. This house is yours too. Clara smiles, and I feel that for the first time in 2 years, I'm starting to live for real again. 3 weeks pass, like a good dream. Clara settles into farm life as if she's always belonged here. The garden already has organized beds, seedlings sprouting, colors returning to the earth. She sings softly as she works, songs that her mother taught her. The house is filled with the smell of homemade bread and a woman's laughter again. We're finishing planting the last okra plants when I see the pickup truck coming up the road, red dust rising behind the wheels. A visit is rare around here. My stomach tightens with a bad feeling. "John, who is it?" Clara asks, and there's fear in her voice, the same fear from the first days. "I don't know. Let's see." The pickup stops in the yard. 2 people get out. A tall man with a grey mustache and a leather hat. The woman is younger with city clothes and a face that's not used to the countryside. "Good afternoon," the man says. "We're looking for John Baptist." "That's me. Can I help you?" Clara hides behind me, clinging to my arm. I feel her trembling. "I'm Sheriff Brody from Tulsa. This here is Ms. Johnson, a social worker. We're looking for a missing woman, Clara Mendez." My blood runs cold. Clara squeezes my hand so hard it hurts. "What does that have to do with me?" "We received a report that you might be hiding her here." "Report from whom?" "From her stepfather, Walter Smith, a concerned man looking for his stepdaughter who ran away from home." I want to punch this sheriff. A concerned man. If he knew what this Walter did to Clara, and if I was? The woman is of age. She can come and go as she pleases. She can, yes, but her stepfather says she's not right in the head, that she needs treatment, and that you might be taking advantage of the situation. Anger rises like lava in my chest. Taking advantage how? "Now, Mr. John, you're a widower, lonely, a young and disoriented woman. People might think badly. People can think whatever they want. My conscience is clear." The social worker approaches. "Mr. John, if the girl is here, it would be better for her to return with her family. There's psychological treatment waiting, specialized support." "Specialized support," I repeat, ironic. "And did you ask her what she wants?" "That's why we're here," the sheriff says, "to talk to her." Clara comes out from behind me. She's pale, but firm. "I'm Clara Mendez." "Honey," the social worker says in a sugary voice, "your stepfather is very worried. He said you're not well, that you need medical help." "My stepfather is a liar," Clara interrupts, "and an abuser." "Now, honey, that's not how you talk about family." "Family?" Clara laughs, but it's a bitter laugh. "He tried to rape me. He beat me. He called me useless every day. Is that family to you?" The sheriff and the social worker exchange glances. They weren't expecting this reaction. "Clara," the sheriff says, "do you have proof of these serious accusations? What kind of proof do you want? He didn't do it in front of a camera. Without proof, it's just words against words. And your stepfather is a respected man in the community. Businessman goes to church." "Of course he goes to church," Clara explodes, "to clear his conscience after doing what he does to me." "Honey, you're upset," the social worker says. "That only confirms that you need professional help." "I'm fine. For the first time in my life, I'm fine." "Just look at you," the woman points at Clara, "dirty with soil, thin, living in the middle of nowhere with an unknown man. This isn't a life for a young woman your age. This is the life I chose. You're not in a position to choose anything." The sheriff intervenes. "Come with us one way or another. Then, in a suitable environment, we can talk better." "She's not going anywhere," I say, placing myself in front of Clara. "Mr. John, don't make our mission difficult. The girl needs to go back. Needs nothing. She's of age and she's here of her own free will." "Free will?" the sheriff laughs. "A 60-year-old man convincing a traumatized girl to stay with him? That has a name in the law." The accusation hits me like a punch. I feel Clara trembling behind me. "Watch what you're implying, Sheriff. I'm not implying anything, I'm speaking clearly. Either the girl comes with us willingly or we'll have to use force. What force? With what authority? With the authority of a search and seizure warrant. He takes a paper out of his pocket, signed by the judge of Tulsa. My world collapses. I take the paper, read it quickly. It's true. Court order to take Clara back, alleging risk to the physical and mental integrity of the minor Clara Mendez Smith. She's not a minor. She's 22 years old. She is, yes, but the medical report here says that she has reduced mental capacity due to trauma. Needs a legal guardian. What medical report? She's never been to a doctor. She has, yes. Dr. Miller, the family doctor, examined her several times, certified the condition of mental instability. That's a lie, Clara cries. I've never seen that doctor in my life. Honey, you don't remember much. It's part of your condition. It's a trap, a well-set trap. Walter managed to get false documents, bribes, an entire scheme to bring Clara back. I'm going to call my lawyer, I say. You can call, but the girl is coming with us today. Then you can sort it out in court. Clara clings to my arm. John, don't let them take me, please. Don't let them. Lista de adaptações feitas. Nesta parte, Delegado Severino, de Formosa. Sheriff Brody from Tulsa, Doutora Márcia, assistente social. Miss Johnson, a social worker, Valdecir Santos. Walter Smith. Comerciante vai à igreja. Businessman, goes to church. Dr. Edilson, médico da família. Dr. Miller, the family doctor, risco à integridade física e mental da menor Clara Mendes Santos. Risk to the physical and mental integrity of the minor, Clara Mendes Smith. Não deixa eles me levarem. Don't let them take me lá fora. O ar da noite me acalma. Outside, the night air calms me down Avental da Maria. Mary's apron. 3 semanas se passam como sonho bom. 3 weeks pass like a good dream. Denúncia de que o senhor poderia estar escondendo ela aqui. Report that you might be hiding her here. E não. E assim que se fala de família. That's not how you talk about family. Ordem judicial para levar Clara de volta. Court order to take Clara back her here e não. E assim que se fala de família. That's not how you talk about family. Here's the adapted text. Texto adaptado. I won't let them, but how can I stop it? They have a warrant, they have authority, and I'm just an old farmer trying to protect a young woman who everyone thinks is being manipulated by me. Last warning, the sheriff says. Clara, come willingly, or we'll have to use handcuffs. Handcuffs? I explode. She's not a criminal. She's a person in distress, resisting a court order. Clara looks at me desperately. Tears stream down her face. I'll go, she whispers. No, you won't. If I don't go, they'll say you kidnapped me. They'll arrest you, and I couldn't bear that. Clara, I'll go, but you have to promise me one thing. What? That you won't give up on me. That you'll come get me. I promise. Clara approaches the social worker. Can I get my things? Of course, dear. See how much better you are when you cooperate? Clara goes into the house and comes back with a small bundle. Almost nothing. Inside the bundle, I see the corner of the note she wrote to me. Ready. She hugs me. A desperate hug. Thank you for everything, she whispers in my ear. For teaching me that I have worth. You have all the worth in the world. I'll miss the garden. It'll be waiting for you. The sheriff loses patience. Enough drama. Let's go. Clara releases me and walks to the pickup. Doesn't look back, but I see her wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. Mr. John, the social worker says before getting in the truck, you did what you thought was right, but a traumatized girl needs professional help, not a knight in shining armor. And you're going to hand her right back to her abuser. We're going to hand her over to her family. The rest are fantasies in her confused mind. The pickup leaves, kicking up dust. I stand in the yard, watching until the dust settles. The farm falls into absolute silence, a silence I hadn't felt in weeks. Dust comes and leans against my leg as if he understands my pain. We lost her partner. We lost our girl. I go into the house. Everything reminds me of Clara. The apron hanging in the kitchen, the bed neatly made, the vase of flowers on the table, the garden through the window with the seedlings she planted. I sit in the kitchen chair and put my head in my hands. For the first time in 2 years, I cry. I cry with anger, with impotence, with anticipated longing. How could they let this happen? How is a system that should protect handing a victim back to her abuser? I pick up the phone and call Dr. Evans, my lawyer in Tulsa. I tell him everything. He listens in silence. John, it's going to be difficult. They have documents, and you... And I what? You're a lonely man, without family, much older than the girl. On paper, it really does look like you're taking advantage. Dr. Evans, you've known me for 30 years. You know what kind of man I am. I do. But the justice system doesn't know me, and Clara has no way to prove the abuse. So there's nothing we can do. I'm going to try for a restraining order. Question the medical report, the validity of the warrant, but it's going to take time, and in the meantime, she's with that monster. John, I'm sorry, I'll do what I can. I hang up the phone and look at the garden through the window. The lettuce seedlings that Clara planted are growing. In a few days, they'll be ready to harvest. Night comes, and I can't eat. I can't do anything but think about Clara. Has she arrived in Tulsa yet? Has Walter started the humiliations again? Is she scared? I sit on the porch, in the place where we talked every afternoon. The stars shine in the sky, but they don't bring peace. They only bring longing. Mary, if you're there, help our girl. Protect her until I can get her back. The wind shakes the trees, but it doesn't bring an answer. It only brings the smell of approaching rain. A storm is coming, and it's not just in the sky. I wake up in the middle of the night with dust barking. Someone is in the yard. I grab the shotgun and go out to see. It's Clara. She's on foot, with torn clothes, her face bruised. She falls into my arms before she can even speak. John, I ran away again, but this time he's going to kill me if he finds me. Her body trembles against mine. I feel her desperation, her fear, her exhaustion. Clara is back, but she's back marked, back in danger. How did you get here? I walked. All night, when he drank and fell asleep, I escaped through the window. Did he hurt you? Clara doesn't answer. She doesn't need to. The marks on her face already say everything. Let's go inside. I'll take care of your injuries. John, they're going to come back, and this time they're going to arrest you. I don't care, but I care. I can't destroy your life. Clara, you're not destroying anything. You're saving what's left of my life. I take her inside. I clean her wounds carefully. A mark on her face, scratches on her arms. Nothing physically serious, but the emotional damage is visible. What did he do to you? He locked me in the room, said I had embarrassed him in front of the authorities, that he was going to teach me to be obedient. And how did he teach you? With the belt and with words, always with words that hurt more than blows. The anger boils in my chest again. If that Walter was here in front of me, Clara, we need to get out of here. Go far away. Run away. It's not running away. It's protecting ourselves until we can prove the truth. What if we never can? We will. We have to. Clara looks at me with eyes red from exhaustion and tears. Would you do that for me? Leave your farm, your life, everything? Clara, you are my life now. The rest is just stuff. She collapses into tears, a cry of relief and despair mixed. I love you, John. I know I'm young. I know I can't offer you much, but I love you. The words hit my chest like a hammer. She loves me. This extraordinary girl loves an old farmer like me. I love you too, Clara. I love you in a way that I thought I'd never be able to love again. We hug there in the kitchen, in the middle of the night, while outside the storm finally arrives. The first drops hit the tin roof. We're going to figure it out. I whisper in her ear. We're going to stay together, no matter what happens. Promise. I promise. But as I speak, I know that the approaching storm is bigger than the rain. Walter isn't going to give up. The authorities are going to come back, and this time they won't take no for an answer. Clara is home. But for how long? And what price are we going to have to pay to stay together? The rain is falling hard now, as if the sky were crying for us. The rain doesn't stop. It's been 4 days of torrential rain that has left the roads impassable and the streams full. A blessing in disguise. As long as it rains like this, no one comes up to the farm, but I know it's only a matter of time. Clara recovers slowly. The bruises on her face are healing, but the scars on her soul are still bleeding. She wakes up screaming in the middle of the night. She dreams that Walter is chasing her, that he's found our house. It wasn't just a dream, she says one morning, sitting on the edge of the bed. He said he was going to kill me if I ran away again. And he wasn't kidding. No one is going to kill you, not while I'm alive. John, you don't know him. You don't know what he's capable of. I do know. I've seen men like Walter, cowards who feel powerful, hurting those who can't defend themselves, but I'm not going to let Clara carry this fear alone. Clara, listen. We're going to leave here, today, if the rain lets up. Where to? I know a place in Oklahoma Panhandle. A friend of my dad's had a ranch there, far from everything. We can start over. And your life here, your land, your animals. My life is you now. We'll rebuild the rest. Clara looks at me with a sadness that breaks my heart. I can't let you lose everything because of me. You're not making me lose anything. You're making me gain a reason to live. We spend the morning organizing what we can take. Clothes, some documents, the money I have saved. It's not much, but it's enough to start far away. At lunchtime, the rain finally stops. The sun appears between the clouds, but it also brings the sound I most feared to hear. Car engines coming up the road. John, Clara whispers, grabbing my arm. I go to the window. 3 cars this time. Sheriff Brody, the social worker, and a third car I don't recognize. A fat man in a dress shirt and sunglasses gets out of the third vehicle. That must be Walter, Clara says behind me. Her voice is full of fear. Stay in here. Don't come out until I call you. Don't do anything you'll regret later. I'm not going to do anything I shouldn't have done a long time ago. I go out to the yard. The 3 cars stop in a line. 6 people get out. The sheriff, the social worker, 2 police officers I don't recognize, the fat man who must be Walter, and a middle-aged woman with an unfriendly face. Mr. John, the sheriff says, I've come to get the girl. I know she's here. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. We caught her on the bus back to Tulsa. She ran away yesterday in the middle of the night, and there was only one place she could come. The fat man approaches. It's Walter, I'm sure. He has small and cruel eyes, fat and dirty hands, the kind of man that makes you sick just to look at him. Where's my daughter? He says in a gruff voice. Your daughter? Stepdaughter, to be precise, but I raised her since she was little. I'm the one who pays her bills. I want to spit in his face. This man, who abused Clara her whole life, is now pretending to be a concerned father. She's not here. She is, yes, the middle-aged woman says. I'm Walter's sister. I've known Clara since she was little. I saw her getting off the bus in Tulsa yesterday. She could only have come here. A trap. They knew Clara had returned. If she was here, she wouldn't be hiding. She's of age. Of age, but incapacitated, Walter says. I have guardianship over her. And you're committing a crime by hiding an incapacitated person. The crime you're committing is abusing the girl your whole life. Watch what you say, old man. I can sue you for slander. The sheriff intervenes in the conversation. Mr. John, let's make things easy. Hand over the girl, and we won't arrest you for kidnapping. Kidnapping? That's what it looks like. Lonely man attracting a traumatized girl to his house, isolating her from her family. That has a name in the law. He's taking advantage of her, Walter adds. dirty old man taking advantage of the girl's mental condition. The anger explodes in my chest. I take a step towards Walter, but the two police officers step in front. "Calm down, Mr. John," one of them says. "Don't complicate your situation." "My situation? What about her situation? You're going to hand an abuse victim back to her abuser." "Abuse?" Walter laughs. "What abuse? I took care of that girl as if she were my own daughter. I gave her a home, food, education, and this is how she thanks me, running away, making up lies. Are the marks on her face lies too?" "What marks?" the social worker asks. "The marks he left on her when he hit her, 4 days ago." "Mr. John," the sheriff says, "you're delusional. Walter was working yesterday. He has dozens of witnesses." "Of course he does. A man like him always arranges witnesses." "Enough of this nonsense," Walter growls. "Where is she?" At that moment, Clara appears in the doorway of the house. She's pale but firm. "I'm here." "Clara." Walter flashes a fake smile. "Honey, you gave Daddy such a fright. Come here, let's go home." "I'm not going." "What do you mean you're not going?" "Of course you're going. You're not right in the head." The social worker approaches Clara with a sugary voice. "Honey, look at you. Thin, in those old clothes, living in the middle of nowhere. This isn't a life for a pretty girl like you. This is the life I chose." "You can't choose anything," Walter explodes. "You're incapacitated. I'm the one who decides for you." "I'm not incapacitated. I'm an adult woman." "Adult woman?" He laughs maliciously. "You're not even a woman. You're still a virgin, like a child." The comment is like a slap in Clara's face. She turns red with shame and anger. "That's none of your business." "It is my business. I'm the one who has to put up with your silly virgin fears of men. No guy wants a woman like that." "I do," I say loudly and clearly. Everyone looks at me. Walter frowns. "What do you mean, you do?" "I want to marry her." The silence that follows is heavy. Clara looks at me surprised. We hadn't talked about marriage, but the words came from the heart. "Marry?" Walter laughs. "You and that thing? An old man of 60 with a girl of 22? 22 is old enough to decide who she wants to marry. Not if she's incapacitated," the sheriff interferes. "She's not incapacitated, and I can prove it." "How?" "By bringing in real doctors, not quacks paid to sign a false report." Walter gets tense. "What false report?" "The doctor who examined her is respected in Tulsa." "He never examined me," Clara says. "I've never seen that doctor in my life." "You don't remember because you were in crisis, but he examined you, yes." "Lies." The social worker tries to calm the situation. "Everyone, let's take it easy. Clara, honey, do you accept to marry Mr. John?" Clara looks me in the eyes. There's fear, there's doubt, but there's also love. "I do." "She can't accept anything," Walter shouts. "She's incapacitated." "Then let's resolve this in court," I say. "I want an independent medical board to examine Clara. I want to challenge this fraudulent report." "Mr. John," the sheriff says, "while that's not happening, the girl has to be under the guardianship of her stepfather." "She's not going to be. If you take her, I'm going with her, as her fiancé. A fiancé has no legal rights over the bride. But I can follow the process, and I can hire the best lawyers in Oklahoma to prove that this guardianship is a sham." Walter is getting nervous. His plan didn't include organized resistance. "Sheriff, are you going to let this old man defy your authority?" "He's not defying anything. He's exercising his legal rights." "What rights? He's hiding an incapacitated person." "Supposedly incapacitated," the sheriff corrects. "If the report is challenged, the report won't be challenged because it's true. Then you have nothing to fear in a new evaluation," I say. The woman who claimed to be Walter's sister whispers something in his ear. He gets even redder. "All right. You can challenge whatever you want, but until a new decision comes out, she stays with me." "She's not going to," Clara screams. "I'd rather die." "You might die anyway," Walter says softly, but I hear him. "A threat?" I ask. In front of the sheriff? What threat? I said she might die of grief away from her family. Walter is smart. He knows how to speak without committing himself. Clara, the social worker says, how about an agreement? Lista de adaptações feitas nesta parte. Doctor. Antônio, meu advogado em Pirenópolis. Dr. Evans, my lawyer in Tulsa, delegado Severino, Sheriff Brody Valdecir, Walter homem solitário, atraindo menina traumatizada para sua casa. Isolando ela da família. Lonely man attracting a traumatized girl to his house. Isolating her from her family. Goiás, Oklahoma. Queremos contestar esse laudo fraudulento. Want to challenge this fraudulent report. Ameaça. Threat. Queremos contestar esse laudo fraudulento. Want to challenge this fraudulent report. Ameaça. Threat. Fraudulent report. Ameaça. Threat. Here is the adapted text. Texto adaptado. You'll stay in a shelter while we resolve this marriage issue, neither with your stepfather nor here, in a neutral place? What shelter? We have one in Oklahoma City for women in vulnerable situations. Clara looks at me. I know she's considering the proposal. Can I visit her? You can, with a scheduled appointment and supervision. It's not ideal, but it's better than leaving Clara with Walter. Okay, Clara says. I agree to stay at the shelter. Shelter my foot! Walter explodes. She's coming with me. Mr. Smith, the sheriff says with authority, the proposal is reasonable. It avoids conflict and guarantees the girl's safety while the court decides. I'm her legal guardian, and you'll continue to be, but she'll stay in a place where there's no suspicion of influence from either party. Walter realizes he's lost control of the situation. His angry face is frightening. This isn't going to stay like this, he threatens me. I'm going to sue you for every possible crime. I'm going to break you in court. Try it. But you won't be able to prove anything because I didn't do anything wrong. We'll see. Clara gets her few things. Before getting in the car, she hugs me. Thank you for fighting for me. I'll always fight for you. What if we can't be together? We will. We have to. She gets in the social worker's car. Walter gets in his car, making an ugly face. The sheriff approaches me before leaving. Mr. John, some friendly advice. Walter is a dangerous man. He has money, he has connections. Be careful with him. Why are you warning me? Because deep down, I think you're right. But I can't prove anything. The cars leave. I stand alone in the yard watching the dust settle. Clara is gone again. But this time, there's hope. The shelter is better than Walter's hands, and now we have time to build a defense. I go into the house and call Dr. Evans. Doctor, I need the best psychiatrists in Oklahoma, and I need them to examine Clara as soon as possible. John, it's going to be expensive. I don't care. I'll sell the farm if I have to. Are you sure? Absolutely. Clara is worth more than anything I have. Okay, I'll arrange it. I hang up and look out the kitchen window. Clara's garden is beautiful, even wet from the rain. The lettuce plants have grown. The tomatoes are turning red. Hang in there, Clara, I whisper. Your garden is waiting for you. And so am I. But in the back of my heart, an anguish grows. Walter isn't going to give up easily. And men like him always have cards up their sleeves. The fight is just beginning. 2 weeks pass like a century. I visit Clara at the shelter in Oklahoma City 3 times a week. It's a clean, organized place, but she's thin again. She has dark circles under her eyes, sleeps poorly. She tells me she wakes up thinking she's back with Walter. How are the medical exams? She asks one afternoon, sitting in the shelter's garden. Dr. Evans got 3 independent psychiatrists, all of them reputable, with no connection to Tulsa. Next week they're going to examine you. What if they say I'm incapacitated after all? They won't say that, because you're not. Clara takes my hand. Her hands are thinner, but they're still the hands that taught me to live again. John, if we can't be together, we will be. But if we can't, I want you to know that these last few months have been the best of my life. For the first time, I felt loved. Really. Don't talk like that. It sounds like goodbye. It's not goodbye, it's gratitude. We go back to talking about the farm, about the garden, about Dust, who misses her. Normal topics that make Clara smile. But I see in her eyes a tiredness that worries me, as if she were giving up little by little. On the way back home, I stop in town to talk to Dr. Evans. He's in the office, surrounded by papers. "John, I have news, good and bad." My stomach tightens. "Tell me the bad ones first." Walter hired a lawyer from Oklahoma City. Expensive, very expensive. They're challenging our challenge. And the good ones? I got information about the doctor who signed Clara's report, Dr. Miller. He's already been reported 3 times for fraudulent reports. It never went anywhere because he has political protection, but now we have a pattern. Does that help? It helps a lot. And there's more. We found 2 other women who accuse Walter of assault. One of them is a minor. Why didn't they report it before? Fear. Walter has money, power. But now, with Clara's case making headlines, they decided to speak up. A spark of hope lights up in my chest. So we can reverse the guardianship. We can. But it's going to be war, John. Walter isn't going to give up easily. Neither will I. I leave the office more animated. For the first time in weeks, I feel like we have a real chance of winning. But the animation lasts little. Arriving at the farm, I find the gate broken. My heart races. I run to the house. The front door is wide open. Dust! Dust! My dog doesn't appear. I run into the house. Everything is turned over. Furniture knocked down, drawers open, papers scattered on the floor. Someone turned everything over looking for something. I go to Clara's room. It's destroyed. The clothes she left are torn, scattered. The vase of flowers she always kept on the table is broken on the floor. Dust! I yell again. I find my dog in the yard. He's whimpering with his hind paw injured. Someone kicked him. Dust has never hurt anyone. Easy, partner. I'll take care of you. I take Dust to the vet in Tulsa. The paw isn't broken, just injured, but the vet gives me news that chills my blood. "John, your dog was poisoned. Not much, but enough to make him sick. If it were a higher dose, someone tried to kill my dog? Looks like it. Who has enemies? I don't need to think much. Walter, he's sending a message. I can get to you whenever I want." I go back home in the late afternoon. Everything is still a mess. I spend the night cleaning, organizing, trying to understand what the invaders were looking for. They didn't take anything of value. No money, no objects. They just destroyed and turned things over. The next morning, I receive a call from the shelter. "Mr. John, it's the shelter coordinator. Clara had a very bad night." "What do you mean she had a bad night?" "She had a panic attack. She said he was going to come get her, that she wasn't safe. We had to call the doctor." "Can I see her?" "You can, but she's sedated." I drop everything and go to Oklahoma City. I find Clara in a bed in the infirmary, pale, breathing slowly. The coordinator explains to me that she woke up screaming, saying she could smell Walter in the room. "Mr. John, Clara is very fragile. Anything can trigger these crises. Did anyone strange visit her? Any phone calls?" "No, nothing different from the routine. But I know. Somehow Walter managed to pass a message to Clara. The same message he left at my house. I can get to you whenever I want. I stay by Clara's bed until she wakes up. When she opens her eyes, she sees me and smiles weakly. "You came. I always come when you need me." "John, he was here." "Who?" "Walter. Tonight, in my dream. But it was real. He said he was going to get me, that you weren't going to be able to protect me. It was just a nightmare." "It wasn't. I smelled him. That smell of cigarettes and sweat that he always has." A chill runs down my spine. Clara may be right. Walter may have found a way to get to her. "Clara, do you want to get out of here?" "What do you mean? Run away, go away, start a new life far from all this?" "What about the medical exams? What about the process?" Forget the exams, forget the process. Let's go before it's too late. Clara looks me in the eyes. There's fear, but there's also determination. He's going to chase us. Maybe. But far from here, he has no power, no protection. When? Tonight. I'm going to get you. What if they catch us? They won't catch us. I know this area like the back of my hand. Clara squeezes my hand. Okay, let's try. I spend the rest of the day organizing the escape. I take money from the bank, fill up the pickup, prepare food for the trip. At night, I go to get Clara. She waits for me at the gate of the shelter, only a small bundle in her hands and a nervous smile on her face. Ready? Ready. We get in the pickup and leave Oklahoma City in the early morning. We're going north, towards Oklahoma Panhandle. Far from Walter, far from corrupt sheriffs, far from this whole nightmare. Clara sleeps leaning on my shoulder while I drive. For the first time in weeks, she sleeps peacefully, without nightmares, without screams. We stop in a small town to refuel. The attendant is a young, friendly guy. Traveling far? Very far, I answer. Honeymoon? I look at Clara, who woke up with the conversation. She smiles. It is, she says, honeymoon. It's not a lie. We're running away together, but we're also starting a new life. Our marriage may not be official, but it's real in our hearts. We arrive in a small town in the interior of Oklahoma Panhandle at the end of the day. Small, quiet place where no one asks questions. We rent a small room in a boarding house, and for the first time in months, we sleep in peace. The next day, we look for work. The owner of a ranch hires us, me to take care of the cattle, Clara to help in the house and in the garden. The salary is low, but it's enough to live simply. Don't you miss your old life? The ranch owner asks after a few weeks. Clara and I look at each other. Her hands are dirty with soil. Mine smell like the pen. Poor, simple, but free. No, Clara answers. This is the best life we've ever had. And it's true. Here, far from everything, we found our peace. Clara starts smiling again, singing while she works. I start waking up happy again, knowing she's by my side. One afternoon, 3 months after the escape, I receive a call. It's Dr. Evans. John, I have news. Walter was arrested. What do you mean? The 2 women who reported him got evidence. One of them recorded a conversation. He's arrested for assault and attempted rape. What about Clara's guardianship? Annulled. With Walter arrested, the fraudulent report came to light. Clara is officially capable. She can come back whenever she wants. I hang up the phone and tell everything to Clara. She cries. With relief, with happiness, with liberation. We can go back to the farm, I say. Do you want to go back? And you? Clara looks around. The ranch where we work, the garden she helped plant, the simple life we built. You know what I want? I want to marry you. For real, in church, with a party. It can be small, it can be simple, but I want it to be official. Here? Here. In this place where we started over. Where we really found each other. We get married a month later, in the small church in town. Only a few friends we made. The owners of the ranch, the priest who knew us as the couple who came looking for peace. Clara wears a simple white dress, bought in the only store in town. I wear my best suit, the same one I wore at my wedding with Mary, but I don't feel weight in my heart. I feel Mary blessing our union. John Baptist, do you take Clara to be your wife? I do. Clara, do you take John to be your husband? I do. Forever. We kiss in front of the altar. A kiss that seals not only our marriage, but our victory over everything that tried to separate us. After the ceremony, we sit on the porch of the boarding house, watching the sunset. Clara has her head on my shoulder. Do you regret anything? She asks. Nothing. What about you? Nothing. I only have one thing to tell you. What? Thank you for finding me on that road. For teaching me that I had worth, for fighting for me when I couldn't fight for myself. Thank you for teaching me to live again, for bringing color back into my life. The sun sets slowly, painting the sky orange and pink. The stars begin to appear. In the distance, a mockingbird sings its melody. John? Yes? When we go back to Oklahoma, can I plant sunflowers on the farm? You can plant whatever you want. The farm is yours too now. Sunflowers were Mary's favorite flower, weren't they? They were. Then I'm going to plant a whole field, for her and for us. Mary would like it. She always said that sunflower is the flower of hope. Why? Because it always looks for the light. Clara smiles and squeezes my hand. 2 years later, we're back at the farm. The field of sunflowers that Clara planted stretches as far as the eye can see, vibrant yellow swaying in the wind, always facing the sun. The house is full of life. Clara is 6 months pregnant. It will be a girl, whom we will call Hope, like the calf that was born on the day we really met. Early in the morning, while Clara is still sleeping, I go out to the porch with my coffee. The sun rises behind the field of sunflowers. Dust, already old but still a companion, lies down next to me. Thank you, I whisper, looking at the sky. Thank you for everything. I don't know if I'm talking to God, to Mary, or to life itself, but I know I'm grateful. Grateful for the road where I found Clara. Grateful for having had the courage to stop and help. Grateful for having learned that love can be born from the most improbable situations. Clara appears at the door, still in her nightgown, with her round belly. Good morning, husband. Good morning, wife. She sits on my lap, careful with her belly. We look together at the field of sunflowers. You know what I like most in this life? She says. What? It's that everything we take care of grows. She's right. We took care of each other and our love grew. We took care of the land and it flourished. We took care of hope and it became reality. And you know what I like most? I ask. What? It's that finding you taught me that it's never too late to start over, that the heart can love again differently, but just as strongly. Clara kisses my forehead. I love you, old farmer. I love you, my sunflower. The sun finishes rising. Another day begins on our farm. Another day of the life we built together, after so much suffering, so much fighting. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I hadn't stopped to help a stranger lying on the road, if I had passed straight, worried only about my fences, my cattle, my loneliness. But I stopped, and she stayed, and we discovered that saving someone many times is the only way to save yourself too. The wind shakes the sunflowers. They seem to wave to us, remembering that even in the darkest storms, there's always a light waiting to be found. Just have the courage to look. There are encounters that change the course of everything. They are not the planned, programmed, expected encounters. They are the unexpected encounters, those that arrive when we least expect them and transform our story. Clara and John met on a dusty road, but in reality, they met in life. Lista de adaptações feitas. Nesta parte, Goiânia, Oklahoma City, Dr. Antônio, Dr. Evans Goiás, Oklahoma Tocantins, Oklahoma Panhandle. Não sentem falta da vida de antes? Don't you miss your old life? Nem com o padrasto, nem aqui. Num lugar neutro, neither with your stepfather nor here. In a neutral place, lua de mel, honeymoon. E agora temos tempo para montar uma defesa. And now we have time to build a defense. Você fica numa casa de apoio enquanto resolve essa questão do casamento. You'll stay in a shelter while we resolve this marriage issue. Fica numa casa de apoio enquanto resolve essa questão do casamento. You'll stay in a shelter while we resolve this marriage issue. Here's the adapted text and adaptation list for Part 5. Texto adaptado. Because sometimes love isn't a lightning strike. It's a seed that sprouts slowly, nurtured with patience, watered with compassion, and when it blossoms, it illuminates everything around it like a field of sunflowers turned towards the sun.